We are talking about the greater good.
Hi, I'm Sarah Katz. Do you want to live a more optimistic life? Well, I'm here to help. In this podcast, I'll be discussing a variety of topics, such as positivity, motivation, and self-love, to ultimately inspire you to live your best and blessed life. So, let's chat. This is... Hello and welcome, my friends. Oh, I'm so excited you are here. Welcome back to another episode of Skatz Chats. This is the episode for the month of August 2021. And it's a special month for me because this month is my birthday. My birthday is on August 16th. Yes, you can all send me, gifts. That's fine. That's totally cool. Just kidding. But hello and welcome. We are in the month of August. And this is also a special episode because it's not the specific day, but I am celebrating my first year of hosting the show. My first anniversary, and it's so cool to say that I've been podcasting for a year. The actual date that I uploaded my first episode was on July 25th of 2020. So that is actually the day that I'm recording today. So ironically enough, right? But on July 25th, 2020, I started this whole podcast in the hopes of inspiring other people, lifting other people up, helping people develop a more positive attitude toward everyday life. And I feel like I've accomplished that within my first year. I think I've had a lot of positive feedback, and in the second year, I'm looking forward to growing my podcast more and reaching a wider audience. But in any case, this is our first anniversary, so very exciting. Happy 1 year, everybody. Thanks again for just sticking with us and being here and supporting me and my journey, this passion of mine. It's been such an amazing ride, and, of course I'll be doing this for many years to come, so no worries there. I'm not going anywhere. So, I also wanted to start off by saying, because we're at a 1 year point, since I've been doing this for 1 year, I feel like I'm a bit more comfortable with, I guess, podcasting in general. Meaning that, so let me give you like the lowdown here. I used to write out, not necessarily a script, but I would start with an outline for my episodes, right? And I would kind of go off of that and basically write little paragraphs or little sentences that I wanted to include. But, that was kind of when I was a little bit uncomfortable at first with podcasting and coming up with, things on the fly and expanding on things in the moment that I wanted to talk about. But now, especially for this episode, I just have a couple of bullet points that aren't complete long sentences. So I just want to be more open and more candid with all of you and take away sort of that scripted feeling. That's a new little update, so no more scripted feeling, so that's good. I also do have a very important announcement as well, but you'll have to wait until the very end of this episode. I will announce it then. So make sure to stay tuned until the end, and I will reveal that fun, exciting announcement for you. But in any case, we are here today to talk about the power of human connection, why it's so important and just powerful to have contact and relationship with others and build connections with people, new people especially. So here's the thing. Of course, it's kind of ironic because, I guess we're starting to do that now because things are opening up, at least in California. It seems like in the United States, we're opening up from COVID. We're, sort of feeling more ready and more open, some of us, to connect with new people, establish new relationships, or even continue on relationships that we have already established with, important people in our life. But it's kind of weird at the same time because, we've been in, not like lockdown, but we've been to ourselves and in our home base for over a year, at least what is it, has been 15 months, something like that. But in any case, it's almost like we have to readjust ourselves. We have to get used to socialization again. We have to get used to and re-familiarize ourselves with how to act in social situations, right? It's kind of been a little bit interesting for me, I feel like, especially, a couple months ago, like the first time I saw some friends that I haven't seen in a while. It's been a little bit, not weird per se, but I think I had trouble kind of like coming up with things to say, I guess, if that makes sense. Although there could be a lot of things you would, could talk about after not seeing them for a year, especially. But one example that I could think of is going back to work in person. So one of my positions now, one of my part-time positions, we had just gained clearance to come back and work in the office, which is totally awesome. And I have been really enjoying it. I missed my office. I missed, actually going somewhere and having my own, my own space, my own desk, and seeing everybody again, and that whole socialization of it, of course, and hopping into other people's offices as well, saying hi, asking them a question in person, you know what I mean? There's obviously such a different feeling when it's online versus in person, as we all know. And this was fine, going back to work in person for me was great. The thing is, though, is that of course I say, well, the thing is, this isn't a negative thing, but of course it's kind of a transition. This is a job that was related to school, and so it's a student position. So when you graduate, basically, you leave. You're no longer eligible to, have this position. So as we all know, as you all know, I have graduated already, and I am going to end this position around August, because then it will go back to the new semester, and obviously I'm no longer a student. All of my older coworkers have already graduated, and a lot of them have already left the office, so we had to hire a lot of new people. And I think for me, I'm more of a naturally social person, but I could tell, especially, of course, with these new people coming in from starting out in a virtual environment to being in an in-person environment and having their own space and interacting with the people who they work with in person was a little bit new for them. And of course, I had to readjust as well because it's a transition. It's definitely a transition for anybody, whether you've been in the position that you're in for 3 weeks or 3 years like I have been. So definitely I've noticed a little shift there, but I think we're all, getting used to seeing each other on a regular basis in person, and we're all getting sort of more comfortable and familiarized with each other, me especially with the new people as well, which I love. Also, another thing too is that I went to a family party recently, and this is family that I don't typically see very often, maybe about, I'm not sure, 5 to 10 times a year, I would say. But it was nice to see them because, of course, obviously I haven't seen them in over a year. But it was a little bit nerve-wracking to me to come up with things to say, or just seeing them in general, because it has been a long time, So I think that not only do we have to readjust to being social and seeing people in person, but in terms of like the conversations that we have with people, because conversations that we have in person are definitely different than what we have through text or social media or things like that. So human connection, it's definitely really important because, and I read a couple of psychology articles as well, but it lowers our stress and anxiety. And that's really important too, because a lot of people during COVID, I guess it is still COVID obviously, but while we were in quarantine or lockdown and all those other things, people were alone. There were a lot of people that were living by themselves, and they were lonely, like they didn't have anyone close to them, or at least in immediate distance to talk to, if that makes sense. They could talk to someone on the phone, but it's definitely different than having someone to talk to in person. Human connection also helps create longer lifespans. I think just because the fact that it lowers our stress and anxiety. I think maybe in a deeper way also, I'm just kind of speculating here, but maybe it kind of helps us create purpose in our life. Because we are connecting with humans, we're building relationships over time, I think that helps us find purpose, and it helps a lot of people find a reason to live. Although it may seem dramatic, it's very true, because if you live in isolation your whole life, or for a long period of time, and don't connect with people, just like COVID, I know that the suicide rates had increased a lot as well during quarantine and everything like that. So definitely helps create longer lifespans. And I read too, which this kind of surprised me, it even helps to improve our immune system, which is ironic as well, because if you socialize when you're not vaccinated and don't have masks like now, then it's not very good for your immune system, but I digress. But it does help to improve your immune system, which I found very fascinating, actually. So these are the three main, benefits of human connection that I had researched on, but there are so many other benefits of human connection. And I think just dating back to old stories and the Bible even, people need each other. People naturally want to couple up. Even though people consider themselves introverts, we all still want to find connections and find people that are similar to us. And even young people too, especially in college when you're fresh out of high school and you're trying to find people who like the same things as you, or are maybe even studying or taking the same classes as you are. It's definitely so important, because that creates your base. That creates your comfort zone, in a sense. That's like your tribe, as people like to call it, The people that get you, the people that understand who you are and you understand who they are, and they just have your back. You have each other's backs. Those relationships inspire you to do better. It's so important to have great friendships and familial relationships as well. I mean, even friends that may be considered family to you as well. Those are so important, because that's your home base. That's your tribe. And people need that. If people don't have that, if people are just isolated, then they don't have that support system. And I think they feel a lack of purpose, I think, as I mentioned previously. So basically, our life depends on human connection. It's extremely important to socialize with people. And I am not promoting socializing during COVID without safety precautions. Of course, I am promoting safety in all realms with COVID, trust me. But I think that it's starting to become time for us to come out of our shell a little bit. Even if you started off as an introvert before COVID, I think it's time. We have to get out of our shells, because we need these human connections. Our life depends on it. It's a natural need and want for us to connect with people. And as a young person too, in my 20s, I was talking to my therapist our last session, and she says that it's a really important time for me in my early 20s to connect with people and meet people and see what kind of characteristics or qualities that I look for in specific relationships and specific people, whether that may be in a friend or an employer even, because I'm looking at full-time jobs now, or even, a romantic relationship as well. It's important to take note and really pay attention to the qualities that you want in a certain relationship. And I know for a lot of us, it's going to be really hard to readjust to not how things used to be, because I don't think we are going to go back to, quote, how things used to be, because COVID shook and is still shaking everybody. It has changed all of our lives completely. But hey, you know what? If our life depends on it, then I think we should really try to meet new people, try new things. Go take a yoga class. Go take a dance class, which I'm kind of looking into right now. Go, hang out with some friends in a group if you've never done that before. Try new things. I think that we all need a refresher. And again, although things are not going back to how they were, we're all trying to develop a new sense of self in this new period of time that we're going in. Because things aren't going back to the way they were. That happened. Oh, that was so 2019. Oh, that was so pre-COVID. No. Life is changing minute by minute, second by second. We are, all of us on this earth, are creating this new world, this new life that is going to be much better and much more meaningful to all of us because this whole pandemic happened. And is still happening, of course, obviously. And I wanted to bring up something also. I wrote this on Facebook in 2014 when I was about like 15 or 16. And ironically enough, it kind of relates to human connection and being to yourself and why it's so important to connect with others. So I'll read it to you straight from the Facebook post. Okay, here we go. So I wrote, "Life, the world, and everyone in it seem to go around in a circle. A very simple, big, but expected circle, where all events happen for a reason. We all seem to connect somehow in each other's lives. People say that nobody's perfect, but it seems as though our lives are perfect in how people fit in it. Even when you are at a low point in your life, something else comes good out of it in the end. You either seem to regain mental strength or wealth or health. Whatever it may be, it always comes around to be positive again. That's why life is such a gift, mostly because of the people that affect us so much in our lives, and even those that don't have much of an effect as others." So the last sentence in that paragraph there, talking about how, life is such a special gift because of the people who affect us so much in our lives, but also those that don't have as much of an effect. Everybody matters. Every relationship is somehow important in your life, no matter if it's just an acquaintance or someone you've known for your entire existence. People who we may not have as strong of a relationship or connection with, they may support us and look up to us and want us to do well more than we even think. It surprises me as well because sometimes someone will come up to me who has known me for a long time and I don't really know them very well, whether that may be from my hobby barbershop that I'm in or anything like that. They say, "Hey, you know what? I really love your Facebook posts. I love following you and seeing what's going on in your life and all the things that you've got going for you in your life and all your accomplishments." And I just love getting those because, not only because of course it's a compliment, but the fact that someone who I don't really know is really kind of looking up to what I'm doing in my life and are affected by that in a way. So it doesn't matter if you've met someone once or if you've seen someone every single day of your life. People can have an effect on you, and you can have an effect on other people. We constantly inspire each other. And I think it's so important, especially acts of kindness too. I hope that today, no, not I hope, this is your homework assignment for today. I want you to hold the door open for someone because they're going to say thank you because they didn't expect it. I try to do that all the time, whether I'm going to the post office or the grocery store, especially someone who's older than me because they don't expect it from a younger person. But this is your homework assignment for today. Okay, I want you to go out and do just one random act of kindness to someone who you don't know, just a random person at the supermarket. Something, because you never know. That person could have just a really terrible day that day, and your act of kindness could have just made their entire day and helped them with whatever they are going through. You never know what someone is going through. So that is your homework assignment for the day. Yes, you are welcome. I know you didn't expect this, but here you are. I hope that it's your homework assignment for every single day because it really is important. Not only to do an act of kindness because I told you to, but just because it should be a natural thing for you, a natural thing that you think about on a daily basis. Especially because, again, all of us, collectively, every single person on this earth is trying to create a new reality, a new beginning, and more fruitful, more meaningful life for themselves. Because we've all gone through so much. If you just put a little sparkle in their day, just a little smile, or a little wave, or even a nice compliment. Hey, I love your outfit today. You look great today. It could really change someone's life. And speaking of that today, actually, I have picked out our quote of the day. This is by Cleo Wade from her book Heart Talk as well. The quote for today is, "Don't be the reason someone feels insecure. Be the reason someone feels seen, heard, and supported by the entire universe." So that just supports my whole reasoning for giving you a homework assignment. And not just the random acts of kindness, but try to be that every day. Don't judge someone because that just isn't productive. What is productive and what helps build a ripple effect of kindness is to help someone feel seen, heard, and supported, not only by the entire universe, but by you. Because you're a fellow human, and you have maybe experienced similar things that they've gone through. So we are nearing the end of this episode, and I know you've all been waiting so anxiously, maybe patiently, but maybe anxiously, for this exciting announcement that I'm going to announce. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. The announcement is that I will be uploading new episodes every other week. So it will be twice a month instead of once a month, and they will be still diverse topics and more exciting interviews as well. Maybe we'll do some sort of interactive thing. I'm not quite sure. I have a lot of cool and interesting ideas that I really do want to implement. I think by uploading more frequently, it will help you to maintain and keep on building that positive attitude that we are working on together and I'm helping you with. This is going to be a challenge for me because you guys know my situation. I am working 2 part-time jobs right now. I graduated, so school is done, but I'm working 2 part-time jobs. And I am just trying to, squeeze in my podcast. This is something that I absolutely love to do, and I feel like I'm doing good, and I feel like you all are taking something meaningful and valuable, and that is the goal of this. That is why I want to upload more often. So it is official. Yes, I will be uploading new episodes every other Wednesday. The next episode of Skatz Chats will be aired on August 11th, which is a Wednesday, and will be uploaded every other week on Wednesdays. That is the exciting announcement. Super happy about it, and I hope you are too. If you love this podcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps us reach other podcast lovers who may love our mental health and wellness podcast. And also, if you do have social media, we are on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as well. Go search Skatz Chats and give us a like or give us a follow. And I wanted to give a special shout out to my friend Val, who has been helping me out so tirelessly with my social media. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much for joining me for this episode. And don't forget my homework assignment too, to do your random act of kindness as well. Have a great day, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll catch you next time on the next episode. Bye-bye! Thank you so much for listening to Skatz Chats. If you'd like to request a topic of discussion, head over to our website at www.skatzchats.com. The Skatz Chats logo is designed by Nkartz, and our theme song is written and produced by Daddy Lacus.